They were not good for you. You know that. You have known that for a while now. They were inconsistent, unpredictable, sometimes warm and open in a way that made you feel like the luckiest person alive, and other times cold and distant in a way that made you feel like you had done something terribly wrong, even when you had not. They said things that hurt, and then acted like those things were never said. They made promises they did not keep. They made you feel chosen, and then made you feel like a burden, sometimes in the same conversation. You were never quite sure where you stood with them, and somehow that uncertainty became the thing you organized your whole emotional life around. And yet, here you are, still thinking about them, still replaying the good moments, still wondering on some level if maybe things could have been different, if maybe you could have done something differently, if maybe, just maybe, there is still a version of this story where it works out. You have tried to move on. You really have. You deleted their number and then remembered it anyway. You unfollowed them and then found yourself typing their name into the search bar 3 days later. You made lists of all the reasons it was wrong. You talked to friends who told you again and again that you deserve better. And yet the feeling does not go away. The thoughts do not stop.
Let me start by challenging something most people believe about attachment. Most people assume that the strength of a bond is proportional to the quality of the relationship, that we hold on most tightly to the people who treated us best, that love is a reflection of how good something was. But research tells a very different story. In fact, one of the most consistent findings in psychology is this. We bond most intensely, not with people who are consistently kind to us, but with people who are kind to us unpredictably, randomly, without a pattern we can rely on. This phenomenon is called intermittent reinforcement, and understanding it may be the single most important thing you can do to begin making sense of what you are feeling. Here is where it comes from. In the 1950s, a behavioral psychologist named B.F. Skinner was studying how animals respond to rewards. He placed rats in boxes with levers. When pressing the lever produced a food reward every single time, the rats used the lever when they were hungry and ignored it otherwise. It was useful, but it did not consume them. But when Skinner changed the reward schedule, when the lever only sometimes produced food, in no predictable pattern, something remarkable happened. The rats became obsessed. They pressed the lever compulsively, continuously, even when it had stopped producing rewards entirely, even when pressing it was clearly not working. They could not stop. Skinner called this a variable reinforcement schedule.
Now, let us talk about what this actually feels like from the inside. Because I think one of the loneliest things about this experience is that it is very hard to explain to people who have not lived it. It sounds, from the outside, like you simply cannot get over someone, like you are dwelling, like you are choosing to hold on when you could just as easily let go. But that is not what this is, and I want to give you the language for what it actually is. What you are experiencing is called a trauma bond. And the word trauma is important here, not because what happened to you was necessarily dramatic or violent, but because your nervous system was overwhelmed. It learned, in the context of this relationship, to associate this specific person with both the most intense highs and the most destabilizing.
So, what do you actually do? And I want to be honest with you here, in a way that I think most content about this topic is not. There is no quick fix for a trauma bond. There is no 5-step process that will make you stop feeling this within a week. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something that does not exist. What there is, and what research genuinely supports, is a path. one that requires patience and consistency and a willingness to be kind to yourself on the days when it feels like you are not making any progress at all, which will be most days for a while. Here are 3 things that actually work. The first is to change your relationship with the thoughts themselves. Most people, when they realize they are thinking about this person again, try to push the thought away. They tell themselves to stop. They try to distract themselves. They feel frustrated when the thought comes back. But there is a well-documented phenomenon in cognitive psychology called the rebound effect. When you actively try to suppress a thought, when you say, stop thinking about them, the act of trying to stop is itself an instance of thinking about them. And the effort to suppress actually increases the frequency of the thought over time. So instead of pushing the thought away, try this. When they come to mind, let the thought arrive. Do not fight it, do not follow it into a spiral. Simply observe it, the way you might watch a cloud pass across a sky. And then say to yourself quietly, my brain is running an incomplete loop. This is chemistry. This is a nervous system response. I am not in danger. I am not being pulled toward truth. I am experiencing withdrawal. Name it. That single act of naming, of putting language to what is happening rather than being submerged in it, activates the observing part of your brain. It creates distance. And that distance, small as it seems, is where healing begins. The second is to address what is happening in your body. A trauma bond is not just psychological. It lives in the body. And the body needs different interventions than the mind does. Move every day. Not to distract